Good day, everybody. After a little hiatus, we're back. The Golden Power couple. I said couple with MJ and Angie. How you doing, Angie?
Hello, I'm doing well. It's summer, so yeah, everyone deserves a little break now and then.
A little hiatus here.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's
what
it.
happened was that Angie took a junket to New Orleans for a weekend.
Yeah, that,
And so that's why we have a little break here. But we're back in action, and we're going to do some stretching exercises. We're going to talk about the lower back pain, and sciatica, which I think we have promised, I think just about every week we've been on, right?
we mentioned a little bit about it last week, because I remember saying about as a nurse, we stopped giving injections, IM injections in that area because people our age have that nerve damage there. So we kind of touched on it a little bit. But it's good because all our exercises and the things we're sharing are connected. So yeah, it's all good. The whole body's connected.
So we'll just get the disclaimer out of the way. I am a certified and nationally accredited personal trainer from the National Academy of Sports Medicine, corrective exercise specialist, and nutrition coach through that organization as well.
Oh, okay. And I'm a nurse who over 40 years nursing different fields, but my last 20 years, I've also been involved in a wellness and health coaching. So I dabble in aromatherapy and hypnosis. So it's a whole alternative type thing, mind, body, spirit, soul, all that good
Mhm.
stuff.
Yeah. A lot of good stuff there. So we're going to talk about lower back pain. We're going to have some sciatica issues and stuff like that. Reading that 39% of adults, and it's not necessarily over 65, 39% of adults have some sort of lower back pain.
Oh yeah. That's again when we talked last podcast we spoke on about all the muscles in that area with your femur, your lower legs, I'm sorry, your upper legs being the largest bone, so the muscle structure surrounding that and then going into your abdominal core and the muscles in your lower back, how it's all connected. I think we talk about the glutes and the gluteus maximus? I think a little bit we did.
Right.
But again, anything in your pelvic area, lower back supporting and abdominal area, it's all works good. And like you had said previous to the whole core. So yeah.
So what happens is a lot of the times is tight hip flexors, and this causes the pelvic to and and anteriorly push forward, like, right?
Right, right. Well, yeah, again, because we got into that again the last podcast. So the whole issue that just in daily living, you want to be able to walk. So with the whole walking, all those muscles and lifting your legs so you can just pick it up and go, when you're marching type thing, or even going up steps. You need all those muscles in the lower back, the abdominal, and your upper thigh just to be in coordination to have that whole movement. And when it starts to deteriorate, then just the whole simple process of walking becomes painful. And then you'll see people with prolonged sitting. They'll grab their lower back and say, oh, my back hurts and things like that because they're not utilizing all those muscles and that support. So, yeah.
One full disclaimer, she has seen that person hold that lower back many a time in her life. Me, I have been doing that. I've had lower back problems ever since my hockey days 784 years ago. So that's
Okay.
so. But when that pelvic switch on a lot of moves forward and such, that that it creates a curvature of the spine, right? That
Right.
that starts that pain more or less right there.
Well, again, a whole issue with just posture in general. So I always say, make sure you visualize that little axis in the middle of your head that's sticking up and supports you to keep your body in alignment, starting at the tip of your head, going back to your lower, your top of, I'm sorry, your top of your head going to upper back and then your lower back and all the way down. I mentioned last week when he said, oh, you stick those puppies out. You got to stick your chest out because that's pulling your shoulders back and taking the pressure off your lower back. So again, the proper body alignment, it starts there. Even when you sit in a chair, if you're going to be sitting, don't sit for prolonged periods of time, please. The feet have to be flat on the floor and you have to sit up. And you'll see special curvature of the back type chairs because it's going to support that little curve,
the
that,
lumbar region.
yeah, in your lower part of your back,
Mhm.
because that's just the normal body position that you should be in, not slumped over so you get like scoliosis and things like that, but you're pulling those shoulders back. And also, again, expands the diaphragm. So it's wonderful with your breathing and taking pressure off the lower back and tucking in the abdominal muscles. And again, we spoke in the previous podcast about that whole sucking in your gut, holding it in and doing the breathing and all of that. It's all connected. And this is strong stuff that if you want to maintain just the daily walking and things like that, you have to have all those muscles work in proper coordination.
Right. So one of the things that we're going to talk about too is you talk about that lumbar region, and I see many clients that have had back problems, and I'm training them and such. So one of those things that we want to do, and eventually we will get to that. We will get into. We're going to talk about self-myofascial rolling of the piriformis. The piriformis is a band like muscle that's in like your right where your hip pocket is,
Yeah.
okay, on your jeans, okay, or your pants. Right where that hip pocket is a stretch of a band called the piriformis. A lot of times that gets aggravated. That's what starts causing that pain down to one side, and we know it as sciatica.
Right. And again, it's usually on the one side, but it can be bilateral. It can be on both sides. And the main thing is all those supporting nerves. You want that blood vessel, the circulation to get to that area to help to heal and keep it properly functioning. So yeah, all of that is important in that area.
When I go to the gym myself, I'm always on, the first thing I do is get on the roller, and you see them at the gyms now. They're they call it foam rolling, which it looks like a big hunk of styrofoam. Kind of, it is a very dense, and you put
Like the noodles from the swimming pool, but of course
those are
thicker
softer.
and better, and
Yeah,
that's what
there's not much give on a
yeah.
roll like that. So, and you would put your leg, cross that over your other knee. Say, like I have it in my left leg. Okay, so you move your left leg over your right knee, kind of like in a figure four type thing, and you're gonna roll on that right on that piriformis, and then stop.
Oh
And
yeah.
right in that tender area for about
Oh
30
yeah.
seconds and hold it, and that is one way to start alleviating that. I do that before the workout. I'll do that after the workout now too.
Yeah, that's
So
good. Yeah, when you showed me that movement again, when you said, okay, do you feel that right there? And then I knew that's the area that I have problem with because I've been dealing with my sciatica for too many years that I can't even count.
right.
But yeah, it's definitely a good stretch, and it's not something that we touch upon in our daily life. So to go back to areas that we know causes us issue, and then we'll be, okay, I don't really deal with that too much, so you're not aware of it. So when you start to do these exercises, they're not something that you again, you do every day, so it's not common for you, but you kind of should start now incorporating it into part of your routine.
So you're probably watching now and you said, oh, that's all well and good. I don't have one of those rollers. Now what do I do? We have an exercise for you that will stretch that piriformis muscle and should help alleviate some of that. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about side planks and how to get rid of that. That's one way of alleviating lower back pain. You think that the regular plank is good for your core. Side plank is good for your core too,
Yeah.
but this will also help with that lower back pain. You're on a side there and elevated, suspended, I meant to say.
Okay, yes, but now just being aware, okay, let's do this also, the disclaimer. Any type of exercise, please be careful. Make sure you don't get dizzy. Make sure your balance is good. If you need clearance from your doctor to proceed, have all that done first. But it's always a point where, again, the body is not always equally balanced, but at the same time, you want to keep homeostasis. So usually what's going on one side of the body, don't let it overcompensate that the other side, right, will take over. So make sure that you have a good balance. So kind of, yeah, even though this right side is my sore side, it's bothering me more, make sure you keep that left side strengthened also.
Well, one of the things with the side plank is you're going to do the side plank on, say, your left side. Do that, hold it for 30 seconds, then guess
Mhm.
what? Flop over and do it on your right side for 30 seconds. With the piriformis, so you're going to really target that one area that's hurt. If you have both sciatica in both areas, well, then we'll show you that too. But what you're going to do is you're going to lie on the floor. And again, using that left leg as an example, bring it all the way over and pull it over your right leg as best you can and stretch that glute piriformis muscle. So you're going to stretch that while you're laying on the floor and hold it for about 30 seconds as if you would on a roller.
And continue to breathe, please. Don't
Always
hold your
continue to
breath.
breathe. Yeah, we
Yeah,
don't want to
yeah,
have anybody have any problems there.
yeah.
But then if hold it for 30 seconds, go back to your lying on the floor, flat on the floor, and then do it again and do it twice, 3 times. You can do that every day.
Mhm.
And, if you need to, if you can't get on the floor, do it on the bed. And we can
Mhm.
show you that too, or you'll see that and you can figure that out on the bed with that. So,
Yeah, with all these exercises, again, know your limits. Know what you need to tweak a little bit to get it where you're safe, that you're not overstretching or overdoing, and that your balance is good. And again, we don't expect everyone to be an expert at doing any of the different exercises that we're discussing, but we do expect you to be safe.
mhm.
Okay.
So, the next exercise that we're going to do is the side plank. And what you're going to do is you're going to basically lay on your side, and we'll use that left side again. Pick your body up, and you're basically at an angle on your elbow and your shoulder. It may put a little pressure on your shoulder, so I want to be aware of that. But then try to hold that for, again, 20 to 30 seconds. You know, this one's gonna be a little bit harder because you're kinda trying to suspend yourself in the air a little bit, so be careful of that. But yes, you're going that's what you're gonna do.
Okay, because last podcast you did show some planks, right?
So the regular
So,
plank, that's the regular
right,
plank where you're
okay.
on your
So just
elbows,
showing the difference.
and this is straight up and down. This is when you're gonna be on the side, hence the name side plank.
Right.
So that's why, that's one exercise that's really good on the lower back, keeps the lower
Okay.
back, going. From getting that soreness and pain.
Yeah, and I know if some of y'all into yoga, I know they have different positions similar, that it's like a yoga stance because again, any form of movement in exercise and mobility will intertwine in different disciplines, but again, we want you to take these movements to help to enhance any type of daily activity that you have, just to make sure that you don't degress. We want you to progress
Mhm.
and go back to this functioning that will help you to do your activities of daily living and make you more comfortable and hopefully pain free. Because once you get those muscles activated, you got the good circulation going on, that the nourishments and the oxygen, and remember, stay hydrated, water are going to each cell and each muscle, each tissue, each fiber, and helping to regenerate. So yes, we definitely need to push that through and make
Yeah.
sure that that's incorporated.
And then, of course, if you start alleviating some of this pain, then you get out and do some walking, and even if you walk in an air conditioned space at a convention center or a mall or
Oh,
something like
yeah.
that. You know, get out and walk, get out of the heat,
Mhm.
but unless, now, we might be starting to turn that corner soon where
Yeah.
the mornings are going to be a little bit better and you can get out and walk in the morning. That's one way to alleviate some lower back pain
Oh,
too. 'Cause a
definitely,
lot of people are
definitely.
sitting, we become sedentary in our lives that we're sitting there at a computer, we're sitting there
Yes.
watching TV
Yes.
or watching the news or something like that,
Oh, yeah.
and so it's good to get out at least daily to get some exercise.
Right, right. And again, weather permitting, but I smiled when you said to get out. I'm not a shopper and used to make me laugh that the malls that they said, oh, the malls are falling out of favor. But you would see people going when the weather is not as too hot or too cold or
Mhm.
rainy, and they're just walking. The malls are a great place to get out and just do that walking. So that again, that helps with circulation. I think I spoke briefly about the lymphatic system and the immune
Yes, you did.
system. So just the movement that your body now is craving, that okay, my immune system is being transport the immune antibodies all through the body. I'm fighting infection. I'm staying healthy and staying strong just by movement. So yeah, that whole, especially from the legs, because if you're stagnant and you're sitting, and unfortunately, like MJ said, our generation, all this new AI and just sitting there on your cell phones and your computers and all this just activity that's causing you to be stagnant. It's not healthy. You go back, what, hundreds of years, and everybody was hunters and farmers and gatherers. And that's just how human nature was, that we were constantly outdoing. But as we progress and modernize, we have let this industrial age, the computers, take over for us. And for some reason, will shorten our lifestyle. That your lifespan of being, oh, I'm going to live to 100 now, because we are sitting so long that the body's not used to it. And that's not how the body works. So we are so smart and so advanced, but we're cutting back on our lifespan by this modernization.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's like, what is it, that movie of Wall-E with the people in the floaty chairs?
oh
Yeah.
boy, yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah,
oh
because a
yeah,
lot of people would rather, they were hunters and carnivores before,
yeah,
going out and hunting their meals and things
oh
like that.
yeah,
We're not gonna get into the whole, tribal thing or
yeah,
anything, but
oh yeah,
what it's going to be is that people will hunt down a bag of potato chips
oh
and
God,
and
yeah,
hunt
oh
down the
yeah,
remote
oh yeah,
and
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah.
But it's just because, speaking of that, and culturally, there's this different towns in Italy, right?
Mm.
Besides the olive oil, the fresh fruit, those people in their 80s and 90s are still out there in the garden and field area and getting their crops, having fresh salad, and I guess whatever they're doing to the onions to press them to make, I mean, not the onions, the olive
Oh,
oil, right? Yeah.
well, yeah.
But
Of course,
yeah,
they could be pressing onions too.
onions,
Yeah.
onions is good. Onions is a powerful antioxidant, but yeah, that they're
Doesn't give you great
physical.
breath.
So it's if I drink a lot of water and wine, wine, probably a little bit of wine flushes all that out. But yeah, just the wholesome diet and the activity. That's what that's what's helping them, and it's been proven too. That whole lifestyle, but it's the movement there. It's not just the olive
Of
oil.
course, we could get into all about the Mediterranean diet because that's what they have. It's really that Mediterranean
Yeah.
diet. It's Mediterranean diet is very, pescatarian with the fish and things like that too.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Not the fat, greasy. It like if they do avocado, then
Mhm.
again, that's a healthy fat. But at the same time, it's a combination of both. You can eat right, but you also have to do the movement. You can't just do one or the other. Those poor. You said you found a pack of cigarettes in the gym one day, and it's like, who goes to the gym and yet you smell? They do. They feel like, well, I'm exercising, so that's good. That's a good thing to do for my healthiness of my body. It's definitely a benefit. But if you're smoking, that nicotine is going to constrict your blood vessels. Okay. That's not good.
Mhm.
You want your blood to be able to freely circulate again, provide nutrients to each and every cell, but the smoking constricts that. So it's not good. But yeah.
As well as the Italians having glasses, tons and tons of glasses of wine. They do it in moderation.
Right. But also the vino, the wine, opens up the blood vessels. It is good for the circulation.
Okay.
With moderation. So that's again, because a wine, they said they press the natural grapes. All right. So if now if they're adding extra stuff to it, then it's a problem. But wine in itself is not bad because it does open up the blood vessel, helps with the circulation. Probably I'm not sure which one is better. I think it's the red one more than the white wine. But again, just make sure it's not a lot of sugar that's added and things like that. If it's natural, then it's better.
So there's a tip, everybody, for all those people who are listening to the Golden Power Couple podcast.
It's Monday, baby, and we've been off, so okay.
Now here's a tip. Now the next time that you say, I've got to watch the Golden Power Couple podcast, and before I email my MJ and Angie, is to goldpowercouple.com, is to have open up a bottle of wine and enjoy the show. I went a long way for that, didn't I? You could have had a glass of wine when we did that whole time. I explained that stuff. So,
or add the name of a wine company and get some extra. Oh, okay.
Hopefully we get some sponsorship there. And we not Bartles and James, if you remember then. We thank you for your I think that's it. Do you have anything else with you?
No, just remember to again, practice your safety, be at peace, breathe properly. Don't set any high expectations that you're trying to outdo someone else or push yourself. We want you to be comfortable, relax, and take it that you love yourself. So with your love of yourself, you practice that healing method to not get angry or upset or say, oh, I tried to do that exercise, I couldn't do it. Just be gentle with yourself. Okay. And again, suggestions. We have a comment area. If you need us to talk about anything else, just reach out and contact us. But again, we want you to feel comfortable and know we're open. So just come and, keep in touch with us.
So we're at goldpowercouple.com or goldpowercouple@gmail.com. Should probably throw the Gmail in there, that would actually help.
And what we're doing Apple without the whole visual, right?
Yes, Apple is
Spotify
Spotify is video and YouTube is video. Okay.
So keep it all out.
And we will see you. We will see you next week, everyone. And thanks and be good.
Oh yeah. The summer's almost over. Don't let that hustle and bustle get to you as we prepare to go back to school and no more vacation for the summer and weather changing and all that other good stuff. But enjoy and be well.
So long, everyone.
All right. Bye-bye.